Welcome to another episode of Sports and Songs Podcast. Today's December 8th, 2022. We're your hosts, Dan and Andy. Andy, this is season 4, episode number 4. And this is, most importantly, a songs episode. Songs edition.
The songs edition, we like to call it.
I like to call it a songs edition, where we talk music, albums, tours, concerts, all that fun stuff. And we encourage the listeners to leave comments down below here on the YouTube show. So feel free to do that. Yep. We have an album review today.
One thing before we get started on that, I do not have album charts this week or song charts this week. Since our last episode, the passing of Christy McVie from Fleetwood Mac, all their songs and albums just have taken over the top 5 and 10, so it wouldn't be a true top album sales right now. But condolences to those who are fans of Fleetwood Mac. Chris McVie, great voice, great talent.
Yes.
Fleetwood Mac was just one of those bands that were, I think they're cool to listen to, but I don't think I ever owned any of their stuff. You listen to them, but I never owned any of their stuff.
All I ever bought was the greatest hits, and that got me through as far as getting to understand and know them a little better. But
But on to today's show,
we've got an album review. So you and I, Andy, this coming Saturday, going to see Hairball at the Medina.
Yes.
So we wanted to pick an album review that had something to do with one of the covers that they bands that they cover. So we did it.
Been Twisted Sister, it could have been Van Halen, could have been Motley Crue, Ozzy Osbourne, Guns N' Roses. Wait, did you guys? I don't see Guns N' Roses. Not Quiet Riot. They're starting to do Cinderella, I guess. Sometimes. Queen. Every now and then they used to do Prince for a while. So
AC/DC.
More. AC/DC. Kiss. Both G and Paul songs.
Oh, now tonight we did pick Poison. We picked Poison.
Yep.
Now, the album that I picked, Andy, is called "Look What the Cat Dragged In." Here we go.
Their first studio release.
It's their debut. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so, this is the ever popular, the one they started off with, the glam metal with the female makeup.
Yep.
Hair blown dry and hair. It's the whole deal. So Look What the Cat Dragged In is a debut studio album by American glam metal band Poison, released May of '86 through Enigma Records. Though it was not a success at first, it steadily built momentum and peaked at number 3 on the U.S. Billboard 200. The album spawned 3 successful singles: Talk Dirty to Me, I Want Action, and finally, I Won't Forget You. Well, this album, Andy, eventually went triple platinum in the U.S. and worldwide has sold over 4 million records. Now, the record was described by Bret Michaels, the vocalist, as, quote, a glorified demo. Now, for those who don't know, Andy, maybe you can help me out here, but I think a demo is typically a band that records 3 or 4, maybe 5 songs on a tape. They ship it out to have people listen to it to see if it's going to sell or not. And so Bret Michaels calls this a glorified demo.
Yeah, so you're recording your buddy's garage, or he's got a friend of the studio. You get half an hour in there, you pump songs out real quick just to get something down. You send it out to producers, record companies, and hopefully someone finds it somewhat entertaining.
And then when you get that deal, you get that music deal, that record deal, you produce, you go in the studio and actually do an album. So here they did their album. They were not that well known at the time. So he calls it a glorified demo because it was recorded in only 12 days in LA at a studio for the cost of $23,000. Part of which was funded from the pockets of the band themselves and their families, Andy.
Yep.
Now let's go back. I just got done saying that this album sold 4 million records worldwide for $23,000 cost.
Yes.
Now, it doesn't take someone too tough to do the math there that this was wildly successful.
Yeah, they did okay.
But the thing I find interesting with this, and we'll get to it next, is it didn't get successful until as it grew and it became successful. It's 10 songs on the CD. Typical demo is 4, 5, maybe 6, but they have 10. A little rehearsing in 12 days, they got it all done, and that was it. They had predicted, and I'll get to this next, predicted they were only going to have one single. Originally scheduled to have only one single. The initial song on the track, Cry Tough, on the album, that's the only single they wanted to release. So they did it. They released that one single. This was back in August of 1986. However, it says, Look What the Cat Dragged In became a surprise success and subsequently spawned 3 more charting hits, Talk Dirty to Me, I Want Action, and I Won't Forget You. The record became the biggest selling album in Enigma's history. I'm guessing Enigma was a small-time studio at the time. That's the reason they were able to work the deal with them. And now you sign this band called Poison with women-looking figures on the front, and it sells 4 million copies. But like it says, this took months and years to get to that level. At first, they were going to release a single and be done with it and hope to have some success. But it had heavy rotation on MTV, and their debut earned band tours with fellow glam rockers Rat, Cinderella, and Quiet Riot. And subsequently, they earned a coveted spot in the Texas Jam in Dallas. The Texas Jam, Andy.
If you play there, you've made it.
You've made it. So here's the track listing: Cry Tough. And this album, Andy, 33 minutes, 28 seconds, 10 songs straight up, no instrumentals. They're all straight up. This is your typical 3.5 minute song all the way down the list. No 7-minute recordings here. So it starts off with Cry Tough. Song 2 is I Want Action. 3 is I Won't Forget You. That's their they started off with their ballad there that became popular. Song 4 is Play Dirty. Song 5, Look What the Cat Dragged In. Song 6, Talk Dirty to Me, also was released as a single. Song 7, Want Some, Need Some. Song 8, Blame It on You. Song number 9 is Number 1, Bad Boy. And song 10, Let Me Go to the Show. Any of those songs jump out at you, Andy?
My opinion, best song on the album is Cry Tough. The last 2 songs they could have done without. I don't even remember those 2 songs. So,
a lot of these songs, I think most people will know a handful of the singles, if not all of them.
Yep.
Not many will. They're not known for these other songs. The deep tracks on this album never really got much play. But Cry Tough was good. That's the one they figured would be good, but that did okay. But then they released Talk Dirty to Me in February of 1987. A couple months later in May, they released I Want Action along with the music videos for these. And then August, before the Labor Day holiday in 87, the month before, was I Won't Forget You. And all 4 of those, the 3 later singles, were the ones that went huge. The first one didn't. So wherever the decision was made to say, you know what, let's throw a couple more singles out there, get some airplay, get some spin time on the radio stations. Now the personnel is Bret Michaels on lead vocals, rhythm guitar, CeCe DeVille lead guitar, Bobby Dahl on bass, and Ricky Rocket on drums. So, this, if you look at some of the accolades that this album got, back in 2021, the 2021 top 30 glam metal albums of all time by Ultimate Classic Rock magazine put this at number 16. Rolling Stone in 29 said this is number 2 for Rolling Stone magazine on 50 greatest hair metal albums of all time.
No.
I agree with you. This was good. This was a good album. Was it number 2 of all time? I don't know, but maybe the fact that those 3 singles.
Well, depends on what you consider glam metal and hair metal and stuff like that. So maybe when you throw glam, but still.
So they did well. They put the money together. They did the album, basically a glorified demo, recorded it very cheap. It sounds good. It sounds, the album sounds good. It's they did a remaster, I think, later on as well. But 2006, they released also a 20th anniversary edition released by Capitol. And so it's pretty good. Any other thoughts here on Poison as far as how it impacted you?
Well, first of all, to backtrack to Enigma Records, I looked up some of the other bands that they've had they've covered.
Okay.
David Cassidy from the Partridge Family, David Cassidy, him. I've had some of his stuff, Don't Laugh, good stuff. The Dead Milkmen. These are some big names that Enigma had here. Let's see. Great White was on there.
Okay.
Husker Du, if you remember them. Husker Du. Local band here. Yes. Lizzie Borden.
Okay.
The Minutemen. Motley Crue started there. Motorhead. Obsession.
Lemmy.
Poison. Ratt was there for a little bit. Red Hot Chili Peppers. What are some of the ones here? Slayer. The Smithereens. Striper was there. They Might Be Giants. What was it? And Vinnie Vincent Invasion. So just some decent bands were there. Some other bands had a record there to start with. So Enigma wasn't totally obscure, but they were there. But I do have some notes on our friends at Poison here. If you could put my screen up, sir.
Yes. Here we go.
There we are. That's us, our own website. The Sports and Songs podcast website. That's us. Poison, now, that album was really good. And the thing I liked about the album is it didn't sound like a first album.
Oh, yes.
I don't think it did. It sounded like, they've done this before. They know what they're doing. They harmonized great. Here I'm going to sound like an old music teacher. They had great harmony. The breaks were clean. Everything was so clean and perfect. Because the guys are a lot of perfectionists in that band. They're intelligent guys. They're not long-haired guys who figured out how to play guitar and said, let's get a band, dude. They knew what they were doing. They all came from decent families, so they did okay. They had good equipment. Like I said, their families helped support them, so it weren't we ate out of dumpsters for weeks type bands, which not saying that's a bad thing. Not saying they were silver spoon handed to them, but they had a good start.
Yeah.
Very good stuff.
A good foundation.
Yes. Then they got into as a while, and it kind of bothers me sometimes when bands do cover songs. But Poison could pull it off because they are so good musically. One of their albums later on, they did Your Mama Don't Dance. Pretty good cover.
Yep.
But did you know that in their career they've done 15 different cover songs?
No, I did not know that.
They did an entire album of cover songs in 2007.
Tesla did something like this.
Now, before Your Mama Don't Dance, they did Rock and Roll All Night, a Kiss cover back in '87 on, I think, the Kiss My Ass cover or a tribute album.
Okay.
But it looks like those songs, and they're good songs. Cover Rolling Stone by Dr. Hook they did. Squeezebox by The Who. We're an American Band. Don't Mess with Jim by Jim Croce. On their tribute or on their cover album, their bonus edition, they did a cover of Bringing Sexy Back by Justin Timberlake.
Interesting. I did not know that.
And other bands they covered, Marshall Tucker, The Stones, Tom Petty, Alice Cooper, The Cars, Sweet with Lil Willie. That great song. David Bowie and The Romantics. What I Like About You by The Romantics, good version. The album is Poisoned is the one they did. It was all cover songs.
Okay.
So if you see that one, you hear it, or if you look for Poison on Spotify.
Listened to that. I've never listened to it.
You listen to Poison on Spotify and you get a lot of songs off of here because they're pretty easy to pop out. And like I said, here is the songs they did on that. Some stuff about the band. Get down here. CC DeVille. Bruce Anthony Johansson. In 2015, VH1 had ranked him as one of the most underrated hair metal guitarists of the 80s.
Okay.
I'm going to say spot on that because, again, I love their music. I don't just hear Poison, I listen to Poison, okay? I get it. But they came out at the right time with MTV.
Yeah.
Talk Dirty to Me, I Want Action, Pretty Boys with Pretty Hair, glam metal. It was the perfect mix.
They had the ballad in there. I
They
Won't
threw the
Forget
ballad
You.
in there. I Won't Forget You, Babe. And oh my God. And they're all running around with their shirts off. It was beautiful. So again, not taking for their talent. I think they're good enough to do it anyway. But to say CC DeVille is underrated is true because they all said, oh, but look at all the fancy guitars he's got and the tricks he does with guitars. It took away from his playing when you watch the videos. You listen to the other songs on the album, you can hear what a great guitarist he is.
Oh.
Ricky Rocket, the drummer, Richard Allen Rim. In 2015, he co-founded a band called the Devil City Angels with Tracy Guns from LA Guns, Eric Brittenham from Cinderella, and Brandon Gibbs from Cheap Thrill. Cheap Thrill's band, I'm trying to get on a tangent here, but Cheap Thrill's another band that had Brittenham in it, Jeff LaBar from Cinderella, and Tony Pratlick from Farewell from White Lion.
Okay.
But anyway, Ricky Rocket, he's done other stuff. He's toured with Lita Ford lately and other bands. Bobby Dahl, the only guy who's truly built the band the whole way through. Everybody else is taking breaks here and there. Bobby Dahl's been there. He's the Nikki Sixx of the band.
Okay.
Yes, they both play bass, but like with Motley Crue, you hear about, oh, Tommy Lee had these wild videos, and Mick Mars is the old guy, and Vince Neil's fat. But Nikki Sixx is just a quiet musical genius running the whole machine.
Yep.
That's kind of Bobby Dahl. And then Bret Michaels, of course. One little tidbit about Bret Michaels, two things. First of all, we've all heard about, speaking of Motley Crue, Tommy Lee and Pam Anderson.
Yep.
I guess there's a video. I haven't heard of this.
Possibly.
Pam Anderson also did a video with Bret Michaels before that, but he said, no, his attorney said, no, you're not releasing that. I mean, it eventually got out, but so.
Okay. That was before.
Yes. So, but also Bret Michaels for Roxy, if you want. Do you go to PetSmart for Roxy?
Yes.
There's a line of clothing there called Pet Rock Clothes. That's Bret Michaels right there.
Pet Rock is Bret Michaels' line of dog clothing?
It's his clothing line, yes. Pet Rock and PetSmart. So Christmas gift for Roxy.
Very good.
Hope she's not in the room to hear that, but
you're really thinking outside the box here.
That's right. All right, some new releases. I just got the one here. I'm gonna put it on our social media the other day. I kind of listened to it today. So that's what I do. Research. There they are. Revelation Saints. It's their debut single, Eagle Flight, was released online. You can find it here. Okay. There's the band right there. Joel Hockstrom, as you look at it on the left there, the taller, long-haired gentleman. You recognize him from Whitesnake. He's filled in with Night Ranger. He's touring right now with Trans-Siberian Orchestra, who he's been with. And we've mentioned the band Iconic in the past with Michael Sweet from Stryper. He's in that too. Very talented guitarist. In the middle, Dean Castroli, the drummer, lead vocalist. He's from Journey. He's also on Hardline and Bad English. And he's still touring with Journey right now.
Wow.
So, now, compared to the other two, the little guy at the end there, Jeff Pilson, bass player, vocals from Dokken. He's also filled in with Foreigner and Dio. So
Jeff
three guys.
Pilson.
Jeff Pilson, yes. Three good guys. Great. I really listened to this album. I put it on our social media page today. Highly suggest you listen to them. I enjoyed them very much. Like I said, Joel's work with Iconic, I like them a lot. I like his sound. Trans-Siberian Orchestra. I know there's members of our fan club out there that love Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Yes.
He's involved with them. Concerts. There's just one concert. There's what I want to talk about in the area right now. Hairball. Saturday, 7:30 show. Strange Days opening up. Now, if you follow our social media, you'll see that this last week, Happy from Hairball, the guitarist, had surgery. He's been fighting some cancer lately, and he had surgery last year. He had carpal tunnel, I believe, or something like that. That's why he had surgery again today. So I said to myself, Self, those be back-to-back shows of Hairball without Happy, but they can't go on without him. For what will they do? So I got to my little keyboard here, And I sent an email to Hairball. I said, Hairball, what up? And I said, hey, what's going on with Happy? How's he doing? When's the tour? Who's replacing him? Here's a statement I got back from Hairball. Guitarist Happy from Hairball had successful surgery on his right hand on Monday and expects a 2-month recovery time. Dakota Denman, he's a guitarist from Nashville, has played with Hairball before and looks forward to a great time with the fanatic Hairball fans. Now, when I saw them last year on New Year's, I think he was filling in for him then. Great guitarist, won't miss a beat. The other guys picked up the introductions Happy would do in between songs and the banter and stuff. They all picked up very well. Everything else, that's the statement right there. There's my screen for that. So they all picked it up pretty good. Hairball will go on. I mean, the characters continue going, everything else. They'll be just fine. Still be a good show. We'll all be there for Brother Happy, as they like to say during the concerts, as they're talking. It'll be a good time will be had. I think Hairball's will be one of those bands because the boys aren't getting any younger.
Oh, yes.
The thirst for the 80s music is going to keep going on. I don't know if they're going to be like slowly replacing themselves with other people. So on their 20th anniversary now, I think right now, are they going to have a 40th and have other guys picking it up? Don't know. Are they going to be like, these other bands that could still carry on forever? You watch the show Saturday with the energy they put out. I'd love to see it, but I don't see them doing this still in 20 years. not this energy.
Yeah, it's not only playing the songs on the stage; it's the show that they do and everything else.
I mean, they don't just sit there and do cover songs. The guitarists and the drummer, they all stay out there. The 2-3 lead singers are going back and forth after 2 songs and changing costumes, getting into the costume of the lead singer. Dee Snider from Twisted Sister, Gene Simmons from Kiss, Paul Stanley from Kiss, Ozzy Osbourne. These are not just, I'll put on a different T-shirt and be that guy. No. They get into the costume. They do the whole face paint thing. They do the wigs, the hair, the Kiss things. They got the big boots and everything else. It's all out. It's all or nothing. So it's not just your regular bar band up there doing, hey, let's play some Kiss songs. Let's play some, Poison songs.
They have the pyrotechnics and everything.
Yes, the pyro show, the side jumbotron going there. Yes, very good time is had. And next thing you know, 2.5 hours are gone. Because it's just boom, 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 boom. They transition from artist to artist like it's just the next song. You don't realize it. So, you realize because other guys coming up. There's not this. Okay, we just did 2 songs by Poison. Give us a few minutes. We have to, change costumes for the next guy because it's just a lead singer changing. So
interesting stuff. I'm looking forward to it. They have the opening act is Strange Days.
Yes,
and so they'll be on first. What time do you think?
It says 7:30. It says 7:30. I'm going to guess Strange Days is going to do about an hour.
Okay.
Then change over. So I'm guessing Hairball will hit the stage about 9-ish.
Okay.
In the perfect world.
Yeah. Looking forward to it. What we'll do is get some photos and we'll post them on the page.
Live stream while we're there. Might put a couple minutes up on Facebook, so keep an eye open for that.
Yeah, we'll put some stuff out there.
There's tons of concerts. You saw from last week's show. There's a ton of concerts going on in the Twin Cities this Friday, Saturday anyway. So those who aren't at Hairball, again, look at our page. You got everybody else and their brothers playing somewhere on the 10th. So if you can't find a concert to go to this weekend, you ain't trying. So,
well, we'll be there. We'll give a review. We'll post some photos and some candids and whatnot. A good time will be had by all.
Yes.
This really kicks off the winter season of concerts.
Right, yeah, because Medina's been shut down for a while. They did some other stuff in there. The Bellamy Brothers a while ago to kind of reopen it up. They've got some others coming out. Another one I saw coming up at Medina, I think it's in March. I don't have the exact date. I just read my email beforehand. Coming back, the missus and I will be going probably. The Oak Ridge Boys.
Nice.
So that we were going to go last time, but they kept delaying because of COVID, and then the time come back didn't work for us, so we never went. But I'd like to go see the Oak Ridge Boys.
All right. Well, it will be fun. Busy time of the year for the music scene, but please leave your comments and requests down below in the comments section. We'll be sure to cover them. We do this show weekly. This is our 136th album review, I think, this week.
Yep. You can find the album reviews on Spotify. We do one song from each album, not the entire album, or else it'd be nuts. But every couple months, I update and put new songs in there.
Go to our Spotify account or our Spotify playlist.
Yep.
And one song are
albums
that we've done. So it's a good collection of stuff.
Yes.
Wide range, as we say.
Yeah. So cover that car trip as you go up to, Fargo or Duluth or Iowa City, or
just press play and let her roll.
That's right.
Good stuff. All right. Anything else in closing, Andy?
No. That's it. We will see you next week. Hairball update.
Next week with a hairball update. All right. Have a good week, everybody.